Hi all, welcome to Informatica videos. I am Vinayak from Informatica Global Customer Support. In this session, I'll be talking about using Azure Service Bus Connection in application integration. The Azure Service Bus Connection provides an ability to send message and receive message from Azure Service Bus queue or topics. In CAI, there are two ways to connect to Azure Service Bus. One is using native Azure Service Bus connection and another one is through AMQP connection. In this video, I'll demonstrate the connectivity through Azure Service Bus connection. Looking at the supportability, we have two ways to authenticate. One is using shared access signature and another one is token credential. Also, we support three content formats: text, XML, and JSON. Let's look into the demo which covers creation of app connection, creation of CI process for consuming a message, and a process to produce a message. To begin with, navigate to IICS and select application integration. To create an app connection, click on new, go to app connection and click on create. The page will display available connectors on this IICS org and you can select Azure Service Bus from here and click continue. To configure this connection, you can select the authentication type, either shared access signature or token credential. In this demonstration, I'm using the connection of type shared access signature authentication. To obtain the access key name and access key, one can go to Azure portal. Click on the namespace that needs to be used in this connection and go to shared access policies. This page will display the list of policies available. You can select the policy that is suitable for your connection. In this example, I'm using the policy called root manage shared access key, and this will be my access key name and the primary key value will be the access key. And I'll provide the fully qualified namespace. In this example, it is gcs testing.servicebus.windows.net. Once the generic details are filled in, we need to fill in the details for event source and event target. Event source is mainly configured in case if your requirement is to read message from Azure Service Bus queue or topic. And similarly, target is to write message to the queue or topic. I've configured both in this use case and I'm using a queue called CAI inbound. To use a topic, you can change it from here. And in this case, I'm using the content format as text. If you choose this radio button disable, basically this will disable the reader or event source listener, we call it. By default, this will be enabled and it needs to be enabled to read the message from the queue or topic. The similar configuration is available for the target. You can choose the queue or topic and provide the queue or topic name here along with the content format. Once the connection is configured, we can test this connection and we need to publish this connection. Once the connection is published, the metadata will be available. To configure the writer process, we can create a temp field of type service bus message. To select the service bus message type, go to more types, go to connection defined types and select the connection created. To provide the value for this variable, we can use assignment step. There are two ways we can assign the value to temp ASB writer. One way is we can select only the message body, like you can expand the object and you will see message body and header separately, and you can assign headers in this way. Or we can select the entire object, go to formula, and the complete request can be provided through one XML payload. Here we can provide a header and body separately. Okay, in this example, I'm just providing the message body here. We need to add a service step and select the service bus connection, and it will list the writers available as part of the connection. In this case, we have only one writer available and we have selected Azure Service Bus writer. Go to input fields and provide the temporary variable that is created. To configure a reader process, we can create a new process. This process should be of type event based. Select the event source which is added as part of the Azure Service Bus connection. And this process should run on cloud server as the connection is running on the cloud server. One can notice that an input field is created called event, and this is of type service bus message. You can see that this variable contains the message body and the headers received from the Azure Service Bus queue or topic. Let's produce a message from the writer process and see what we get as part of the reader process. We'll go to the writer process and I'm using run using option here. I've hard coded the value that needs to be returned to the Azure Service Bus queue. Con run and I see that the process is completed with the run ID ending with 7632. Let's go to the application integration console. You see that the writer is 7632 completed successfully and the reader process is also triggered successfully. Let's see both the data as part of the input. We got this value CAI ASP integration, and let's open the reader process and one can see the body CAI ASP integration. This is the message body and these all are the headers received from the Azure Service Bus. One can refer to our connector documentation for more details on Azure Service Bus connection. And also, if you have any feedback on this video, please write to us on supportvideos@informatica.com or you can tweet us on X. Thank you.